Hey now, say now, you know who it is and what it is. It's the kid that did, LexLucas DaBoss. And I want to welcome you to my third episode of Sport and Mobbing. Today we got a PSA. I've been hearing a lot lately, and I mean a lot lately from the younger generation, that they don't have any OGs around to pass down the game and that they have to learn it by themselves. That's where the problem began. You damn right that's where the problem began. It began when you selected that lame excuse. Number one, you do have OGs around. Two, what can you tell a motherfucker that know everything? Three, y'all too smart for your own damn good. Just because we look good and take care of ourselves and we might even have the latest swag or fashion, that don't mean we ain't OGs. Just because we keep a pocket full of money, we always stay in a luxury cars, some kind of foreign, that don't mean we ain't OG. And I seem to notice this a lot walking down the street. Motherfucker be like, hey, what's up, OG? I guess we ain't OGs until you need somebody to blame because you claim it was no game to be passed down. Everybody run that same old tired ass excuse that it ain't no OGs around. I'm gonna give you a small bit of history. Heavy drugs, particularly crack, hit the urban communities heavy in the 80s, early 80s, I would say like 83, 84. It devastated communities. It became an epidemic. Either you was on the dope or you selling the dope to keep lights on in your house or just to keep food in the house. By the early 80s, a large percentage was strung out. I mean, strung out. The few that weren't strung out, they was dealers. And don't think they went unscathed. They eventually got busted. And you gotta ask yourself, well, damn, what happened to the kids? What about the kids that was growing up in those communities? What happened to them? And also think about this. Crack comes from cocaine. Cocaine comes from a coca leaf. Coca leaf isn't even made in America. They're not grown. Nobody got coca leaf plantations or farms in America. I'm gonna just fast forward to this point. None of these people who were affected by this drug epidemic had any planes or anything. They weren't importing any of this stuff. This stuff was being dropped off by the government. The government constructed a plan to drop this shit off in communities. Not only did they drop this shit off in communities, they took the profit that was made from dropping this shit off and they funded a whole nother country's war. Now, since they distributed a large majority of the cocaine that was circulating in the United States at that time, they happen to know all the big dealers because they were the ones distributing it to them. In the end, they had info on everybody. They had info on everybody, so it wasn't hard to wrap up all the big players. So in the early 90s, they started this mass incarceration campaign toward all of the urban communities, to all of the people who were affected by this cocaine that they put amongst us. And this incarceration campaign went on from the 90s till present. Now this alone took about 60 to 70% of our black and brown people completely off the street. The reasons the numbers were so high: one, at that time in the United States, we still had a huge racial divide, believe it or not, especially when police and niggas. Two, when they orchestrated the plan, they were very meticulous with their planning. They knew our communities had no money. So what they did is they brought the dope in. They only dropped it off on one side of the town. They didn't just give everybody dope. They gave them niggas over there dope. Them niggas, and them niggas all still starved. All those little inner city starved. These niggas is on. They got the gas. Guess what? After you got all these hungry niggas that they can't eat like them. They want to eat like them. They just need a few things from over there. So guess what? Guess what them people do? They go and drop guns off into their hood. All of a sudden, mysteriously, there's a crate of heavy artillery shit dropped off in the hood. You don't think them niggas with that heavy artillery ain't going to that other hood to get that money and to get that dope so they can have the juice? They knew what they was doing, and that's what happened. And I ain't gonna lie, hella people died. Hella niggas died, and counting. If you heard me speak on my last video about the crack genocide, our own genocide, that's what I was talking about. This here. Over this money, dope, and turf, we was tricked into exterminating over 40% of our own race. Now after killing off that 40%, was just down there just leaving elderly and children on the streets. No men to pass the game around, no fathers, wiped down, or they in jail. Now our whole communities is on some kind of Section 8 or housing or HUD. So if you did have a family member that had Section 8 or housing, you can't move back in with them. Your wife got Section 8, you can't move back in with her. Or if it's your wife, maybe, but just your baby mama, you can't, she's gonna jeopardize her Section 8 because she can't have that shit going on in her house. But, you know, after motherfuckers got took away from their family, selling dope, being in the dope game because there wasn't no money in the community, and they put this here, and all of a sudden this is making money, so a motherfucker just want to provide for their family because ain't nobody all the way down multiple generations ever had no money who ain't gonna start selling dope. So motherfuckers start selling dope, and they went to jail for it. And they broke up their families. And their girlfriends couldn't keep their Section 8 if they let you move back in after you fresh up out the pen. So you gotta go move in with somebody else. Now your kids don't have you around. Your kids think you just don't wanna be a part of it. I mean, some niggas made that choice, but a lot of niggas was forced out of their household. Bottom line, it was only a few black men around, period. Not to just pass game around, just period. It's sad, but I gotta state the facts on this. Our generation, my generation, was responsible for killing over 70% of the people who would be in their 30s, 40s, 50s right now. Out of every 10 people, that generation, we killed 7 out of 10. There's about 3 out of 10 left. Just think about it. The mid and high 30s, 40s, 50s, it's a shortage. And unfortunately, our stupid asses is responsible. And that's because we truly didn't have nobody to lead our generation. All our people was on dope or gone. Now that's no OGs. But now the other 30% that's here, that's been through it, seen it, and done it, and try to explain it to youngsters, y'all don't be wanting to listen. Y'all be trying to compete with the person just because they dress like y'all. Y'all want us to dress like old ass men, but I mean, we still got spunk. My generation that survived through it, black don't crack. And we still young, we still full of spirit, but that don't mean that you need to compete with us. That don't mean that you need to see if your arm stretches long as your OGs. The first chapter in 48 Laws of Power is don't outshine your master. I'm not saying that your OG is your master, but it's the motherfucker giving you game. I mean, you gotta respect them. You gotta know how to be humble. And you gotta listen. It's OGs around. Look at me, I'm around. Any of y'all can holler at me at any moment. Get in my comments. Holler at me. I bet you I holler back. You know what I mean? On some real shit. And when I say game, I ain't talking about just street shit. Let me reiterate that all the time. I'm not just talking about street shit. I'm talking about life experiences. Everybody who know me know when I say I'm giving you some game, I'm giving out game. Game ain't nothing but life experience. The experiences that I've taken in over my life, you know what I mean? That's the game that I can give you, or I can give that person, or that person. I can't tell you how to rob a bank. I can't tell you that. I know I can tell you how to live life. Just even though this is hella long. I was gonna do something way longer than this, but I'm gonna cut it short. I just wanna say this. Youngsters, don't throw your life away. Don't throw your life away. I don't wanna see y'all make the same mistakes that my generation made when the mistakes don't have to be made. What I do wanna see is us as a people, not just black people, urban people, period. And not to leave nobody else out, but you know, us urban people, we need this. I want us to know that it's people like me and it's people like you and other people. It's time to stop. All of us, stop being victims and be victorious. And when I say victims, I mean speaking to the person who said there's no OGs. That's victim talk. You know what I mean? There are OGs around. There are people around you. We ain't victims no more. We victors. You get it? Yeah, and so like I said, I'm gonna cut this short. If you haven't heard of, or if you haven't read the book 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, I suggest you go grab that. Like I said, chapter 1 says, never outshine your master. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up. But before I go, I wanna leave you with this. I hope you live as long as you want, and I hope you never want for as long as you live. Keep mobbing.